Bryan.
All right, Luke, it's good to see you, buddy. I haven't seen you in person in a few months. How you been?
It's been a little bit, yeah.
What have you been doing? Like, what's your life been like the last few months?
Well, I had the worst asthma, bronchitis, Nashville drought stuff. So I finally have started singing at the level that I enjoy to. But it was a rough one. I don't know.
You have bad allergies?
I always have. I was the kid that, the mother, I was drinking the pink stuff, amoxicillin, what was all that stuff?
Yeah.
I was just always snotty nose. But and I had childhood asthma as a kid, and I'd never had it really come back and flare up until like the 1st of August, to where it was had to move some shows, and there's about 3 shows I probably should have moved. If you want to go look at those Instagram comments, you can.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Do you address that? Will you go out and be like, I'm dealing with this?
when I'm having, the problem with my voice is when I sing, it's all gotta work. It's like everything's got to be working, and when it's not, it looks like I'm passing the kidney stone. So I don't really hide it, and you can tell that I'm struggling. So in Chicago, I postponed Des Moines and Oklahoma City to just try to get better and get better. And it was weird. This thing, my talking voice would be good, but the more I sang, it was like my lungs would get mad. And then, oh my gosh, I couldn't breathe. And I had Bailey was on the show, Tracy Lawrence and Chase Beckham. They came out, and we made the most of it. But on a show like Wrigley, you don't want to get up there and feel bad. You want to have fun. So I thought about doing like a Wrigley redo and just going up there and maybe redoing it or something. But we'll see.
And spell redo with a W.
Yeah.
Yes. Wrigley, W-R,
Yeah,
redo, W-R, redo. So, and again, you have to factor in this, because as a fan of music yourself and you've been to tons of concerts, it's like, what's more annoying, the artist canceling or the artist being a little bit sick? And probably it's more annoying if they cancel.
It's awful because people, especially a town like Wrigley, I mean, it's one thing if you're playing like a standard amphitheater in that people probably have bought the season tickets and all that. But, a lot of people, when they come to Wrigley, they probably come in on the Friday night.
Destination for sure.
Grab a room, enjoy Chicago. And, man, it's just a terrible scenario to get in the middle of. And then through all this, you don't know if you're kind of like maybe fighting little COVID strains and stuff like that. And I never had like fevers or where I was like, I need to go get a COVID test. So it gets a little tricky. I've never had to move shows until the past 2 years. And God, I hate it because you're always going to really have people that are like, how could you do this to us? We've been waiting. We flew in from, but nothing is worse than being out there and not being able to sing. It's like
you're having a terrible sore throat and you're second guessing everything you're doing. Because
I told somebody, I was like, I would rather televise a vasectomy than do that right there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. But
well, you can sing with a vasectomy. It may hurt. It may hurt on the high notes. What is your hardest song to sing anyway? Let's imagine you're not sick.
Roller Coaster.
Is it because is it high?
It's when you start the chorus, but when everything's clicking, it's easy. But when it is not, it is.
Do the melody of the. You don't have to sing it hard, but I can't get there.
Hold on. I didn't know that kind of feeling would last long. I hadn't warmed up yet.
Hey, you're back though.
High,
He's back right now.
Yeah.
He's back.
I didn't know that kind. If I can't hit that, see that? I got a little.
Yeah, made me want to do that. I'll do that for you.
I didn't know that kind of feeling would last longer than. I mean, if it ain't clicking, it's just, we've had to skip Roller Coaster a couple times.
Well, I was reading now you have 30 number one songs, and so you can actually not do some songs, right? 'Cause
Well,
you have so many.
We've gotten to where we can move some stuff around. Like if I get on the piano, one thing is when I'm having vocal trouble, the reason why I'm having it is I'm like pushing above the band. So we've learned if I just get out there with my guitar or piano and really like just settle down and sing a little softer, that helps. But when I just sang Roller Coaster, I mean, when I'm a loud singer, it's not, and I think like now Gary LaVox, in my opinion, is one of the best singers of all time. But same thing, he has to like let it rip to make it happen.
Can you change keys?
I don't want to do that.
You'd be like, that was no time feeling.
That kind of feeling. I don't think. I think when I'm 65 and I'm out there, it's probably not going to be a bad idea to change keys and stuff like that. But
I watched Elton John change keys on about every song because again, he's older now,
right?
And he'd be like, "Hold me closer, tiny dancer," because that's really all he could. And it worked. But you're also like, that's Elton John 70, and it's really hard. Oh, me,
I mean, and it's a real deal. I think naturally, I think you're gonna. And I've heard all these stories like the human voice, the male voice, like hits full like maturity at like 41 to 43. But then, and I feel like when I don't have, like I said, when I'm in a great non-allergy situation. One thing too is I started playing a lot of golf,
and that made it worse because you're outside.
I think that's not helping.
Well, what's golf do? How's that different than fishing and hunting?
Well, because they're out there cutting grass,
mowing everywhere,
and mowing,
okay.
and
not just
like
about being outside.
And you're on water, and when you're fishing, and allergens aren't terrible over
the
water.
water helps. Yeah.
Well, but I'm allergic to fish, which we've talked about before.
It's a weird thing to love fishing and be allergic to fish. Yeah,
I am.
Be like an NFL player. I'm allergic to face
If you touch them or if you eat them.
If I touch them, like, so if I go fishing, I take an Allegra. It's like, all right, now I can go fish.
Interesting.
But I mean, I got bad allergies, and I take, like I'm on Singular every day. So that's what sucks too, is the fans. Like, I want the fans to know, like, I'm not out like
partying,
raking a hay barn, and when I got sick, when I start to feel it coming on, like I'm going to the doctor. We're talking 30 minutes a day. When you do all that and you load up on prednisone and all the antibiotics and you still suck, you're like, I hate my life.
Let me ask you about music. You have Mind of a Country Boy just came out, the full album, and you're obviously still writing. How often are you writing now?
I would say I'm writing 3-4 songs a month.
Once a week, possibly?
I wouldn't say that much. I mean, I would say, I tell you what I am doing. I'm constantly logging ideas, and I'm constantly waking up at night and like typing in ideas. I have tons of ideas, and I'm just I wait for those ideas to meet the right co-writer. And I think I want to start doing some maybe some songwriter retreats and really knock out a lot more. But I enjoy, like, when I sit down to write one of mine, it's like, God, it's probably going to be me again. Like, I love to hear, like, the song Closing Time in California. Like, that's such a different approach on this album. And I just like kind of trying new stuff out, too. And I think some of the younger writers can really make that happen.
You didn't write that, but you found it and you were drawn to it. Why? It feels a bit different.
It's just a different approach, and it's kind of got that, it's just like a fresher approach than maybe something that I've always done historically, and using the falsetto was something that I've never really done a lot in any of my albums prior. And
do you feel weird recording that when you don't do it often? Are you like, how do I sound?
What's funny is I typically do pretty well singing up falsetto. I mean, it's like, I've been trying. Well, now I can't. Oh my God, I can't do any of this now. But I think my main thing is this something I can make happen live? And you don't ever want to, like I said, I don't want to get out there and start adding, gang vocals and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know who does that, but I've never done that. And I still want to grow as a singer and a guitar player and a piano player, but this one kind of will push me to kind of stay on the game.
About to have another number one. Love You, Miss You, Mean It. Why'd you pick that song?
Love You, Miss You, Mean It's one of those titles you're like, why has that not been written? And the first time I heard it, it was just that perfect amount of like something that I felt like it was a song kind of tailor-made for me. And you hear that story. I mean, I think Caroline and I, our college relationship, we dated a little in college, kind of got away from each other for quite a few years and then got back together. And that's kind of mirrors what's going on. And I think a lot of people out there have had that deal where they kind of go their separate ways after high school or college and get back together. And it feels like a pretty relatable song. So,
well, congratulations on everything. You're back on Idol. Have you guys started taping yet?
We'll start very soon, like in the next couple.
About that time.
But, auditions are typically, October's like my hell month. It's like where the kids are like, yeah, Dad, we'll see you. We'll see you here in a little while. So,
meaning what? Like that you're gone, and so they're like, see you on the other side?
Well, historically, I have always been maintaining a full speed tour through October. And this year I took Friday nights off in October. So I'm kind of joking a little bit. I'm going to be home on Friday nights for
sports,
for Bo's football. And then I'm doing some makeup shows. But then October's pretty chill, other than what I would used to do is 4 days of auditions from like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or 3 days, and then go straight to a Thursday tour. And then leave Saturday back to audition. So it used to get pretty, October used to get pretty hairy.
How early did you know they were talking to Carrie about coming on the show?
There were a lot of names getting thrown around. Her name was always in the mix. I think it's probably, you could Google the names that were talked about from Meghan Trainor and maybe like Miley and some other people. And so we were hearing all of the names that were circulating. And so then they said, well, Carrie signed on. And I had seen Carrie at the Toby Keith tribute. And I was like, what's up there, coworker or whatever. Or I guess that's how you say it. But or co-judge. And she's like, yeah, I'm announcing on Wednesday. So we were kind of keeping it quiet.
That's like Carrie and Kelly would have been the A+ best absolute ones to get. Those have been the two best. Then Idol hit it. Idol hit a home run. Carrie and Kelly Clarkson would have been the two A+.
Yeah, when you look at Carrie's ability to relate with the kids, it'll be, obviously me and Lionel, we relate as best we can. But, Carrie will do great in that role. And the fact that Carrie has always really come back and uplifted the show, she never was like, well, the show did this. And, she's always like, this show is why, so she's been a champion with that. And, I remember like her first time back when I was a judge, I was like, thank you for coming back and singing your new single. And she was like, shut up. What are you talking about? Of course I'm coming back.
Yeah, she never ran from it to be like, I'm bigger than that. Or
right.
I'm better than that. No, she was like, it's a part of my story.
Yeah, it's very, very important that she's done that.
Great to see you. Love you.
Love you.
Luke's got a record out called Mind of a Country Boy. Love You, Miss You, Mean It. About to be number one. He's back on Idol. He's going to do some makeup shows all over. October is a very tough
I'm going to
month.
yell
Yeah.
it.
But then this one's going to be chill.
Historically. Luke, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see
All
y'all.
right, there he is. Luke Bryan, everybody.
Thank y'all.
It's a Bobby Bones show.